So you have a sourdough starter and you're wondering, now what? How often do you have to feed it? How do you keep it active? How do you keep it alive? Can I put it in the fridge? Does it have to live on the bench? Then this video is for you. I feed my starter once a week on a Friday. Other than that, it lives in the back of the fridge. So I will pull it out Friday morning, feed with it. When it's active enough, use it to make a loaf of bread, and then I shove it back into the fridge unfed. The fridge forces your sourdough starter to basically go into a dormant period, slows down the activity because it's cold, but that doesn't weaken your starter. You just have to make sure that you bring it out of the fridge and feed it before you want to bake with it. The only things I would make sure of is if you're going to keep your starter in the back of the fridge, that it's active enough to be able to cope with being cold. How regularly do you have to feed it? You don't have to feed your sourdough starter daily. I feed mine once a week. My sourdough starter has nice loaves of bread. The starter is now 2 years old. I've had this thing in a jar for 2 years and she's still great. Other thing with being in the fridge is you don't also have to feed it weekly. Only feed it when you want to bake with. So the main thing is that you have a loose fitting something on top so that other bacteria can't get into the jar. If you leave it in the fridge for a long period of time, it will develop what's called like a hooch layer on top. That is just a normal byproduct of a sourdough starter. It might stink quite a lot, that's normal. The main thing is that she's not fluffy. If she's fluffy, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to bin her. You're not gonna be able to use her. You're gonna have to start again. So that's why it's always good to keep a jar of discard in the fridge. My basic rundown of how to maintain your starter. If you have other questions, drop them in the comments below and I can go into more detail about that. It doesn't have to be as high maintenance as people make it seem. Coming from a girl who started her sourdough starter from scratch and still has the same thing living in a goddamn jar. Back into the fridge she goes.